I am a student at the BA in English Language Teaching at Universidad Autónoma de Sinaloa. This video is for my second language acquisition class, and I will be explaining some key points from the first chapter of Rod Ellis's Understanding Second Language Acquisition book. So to start, I will be explaining what is SLA. SLA stands for Second Language Acquisition, and it refers to both the subconscious and conscious process of learning a second language after learning the first or native language. It can also be referred as target language since the goal is to know the language, and this goes for any language that wants to be learned. Acquisition refers to picking up a language by being exposed to it, so it's a subconscious process, while learning is the conscious study of language, like going to school to learn English. When you learn a second language, there are two levels of experience: simultaneous bilingual, which is when you grow up learning two different languages like Spanish and English, and sequential bilinguals, which are the people who learn a language after learning their first language. The process of learning a second language is going to be very different for a child and for an adult, because adults tend to focus more, but they want to know more grammar, and it's more difficult to them to be able to speak the language. So the oral part of learning a language is more difficult for adults, while for children is easier to learn how to speak another language that's not their native language. But when it comes to grammar and vocabulary, and to learn that vocabulary is more difficult to them, because they are still very young and maybe they don't know how to use grammar in their native language. So to learn it in a second language is going to be difficult for them. When learning a second language, it's important to know the structure of the language, and syntax and morphology tell you how words are formatted and how these words are organized to turn into sentences that you are going to use when talking and writing information. Stephen Krashen is an American linguist who developed a theory in which he divided the process of learning a second language into 5 stages. The first stage is pre-production, which is when the learner mostly listens and has no verbal response, and this stage can last up until 6 months. The second stage is called early production, and is when the learner starts to collect new words and is able to make very basic and short sentences, and this stage can last another 6 months. The third stage is called speech emergence, and it's when the learner has collected a few thousand words and is able to engage in basic conversations, and this stage can last a year. The fourth stage is called intermediate fluency, and the learner already knows around 6,000 words and it's able to engage in more complex conversations and make more complex sentences, giving opinions, analyzing problems, and starts to think in their second language, which means that a progress lap has been made. The fifth and last stage is called advanced fluency, and this stage can last around 5 and 7 years to master, and is when the learner is able to communicate fluently with very minimal errors like miscommunication and idiomatic mistakes. And there it is, a very brief overview of the key points from the first chapter of Rod Ellis's Understanding Second Language Acquisition book. This book, whether you're a learner or a teacher, is very useful when it comes to understanding on a deeper level all of the process that a person goes through when they are learning a second language. Bye!